Now comes server-side request forgery. Now, when we talk about server-side request forgery, that has been merged with something else. What is SSRF? It happens when attacker is able to manipulate a server into making unintended requests, or maybe if we want to run a scan on the server and server is letting us do. Because I'm an attacker, I'm not supposed to do anything, and I'm still able to probe server for more information for internal information and whatnot. And how does it work? Especially in 2023, it happened with Azure, where there were 4 separate Azure services which were actually vulnerable to SSRF, which was digital twins, functions, API management, machine learning, all of this. Here, attackers were able to enumerate the local ports and even access the private internal endpoints. Now, it just did not happen with Azure. There were many companies which were vulnerable to SSRF. I remember I was playing around with one of the apps, and because there was an internal URL which was visible, I thought, why not? I try and scan, probe about their internal IP addresses, all of those details, and I could get it. So I think this is something which is
So what
important. Let's
Roger will
understand more.
do in a search.
So here, my friend Brian is actually trying to explain how exactly SSRF happens.
What Roger will do in a server-side request forgery is they will trick the server now. Instead of the browser, which was cross-site request forgery, we're now tricking the main server that's for that website to make a request to the API that it's not intended to do. Roger can get more data back from the API. Roger can get more sensitive information about other users, whatever it may be. They try to exploit the fact that this server is making additional requests that it wasn't designed to actually make, even though it's leaving that door open for Roger to do it. So the difference, if you're picking up on what I'm putting down here, between cross-site request forgery and server-side request forgery is CSRF is happening more so in the browser and directly to the main server, whereas server-side request forgery is happening behind the scenes on the back end from one server to the other, whether it's an API or this could be some other service.
All right. I just want to actually make correct here that it's actually merged with one. I think I was saying the same. So here it has merged with broken access control, SSRF, and let's learn about how to defend itself. Now here, first of all, let's disable HTTP redirects. Sanitization is something which has been a big problem all this while. Sanitize at client level, sanitize at server level, both are equally important. And do not send any random requests, raw responses to the clients. You have to properly validate and then send all those responses that what is going back to the user. Treat them as unknown. Even though it's our CEO, we have to make sure we vet it out. And be sure or be aware of URL consistency, because we want to make sure we are not getting into any kind of time of check usage issues or any kind of race condition issues. So that's something which is very, very important. Now, make sure if you have any questions, please put it in the chat box and we will take it